Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. I'm your host, Spiro. Welcome back to the show where we talk about grief and we make silly jokes about it. Follow me if you haven't already, Spiro in that show, on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, Facebook. Anywhere that you can stream your social media sources, I have. I'm a little chaotic. I've been studying for the praxis exams. I have five praxis that I have to take to get my certification in teaching, which it's fun, but it's stressful at the same time because it's fun because it's like, I'm starting this new chapter. I got to take these tests to make sure that I'm not a fucking idiot. But then there's also this what if I fail? I'm not going to fail. But taking a standardized test, it's the first time I've taken a standardized test in 18, 20 years. It's holy shit, multiple choice? What? I have to wait for scores? I have to go to a proctor? What? A proctor. He's going to stick his finger in my butt? Is that what proctors do? Am I thinking of the wrong type of proctor? A banana a day keeps the proctor away. But it's been stressful. I'm a little jumbled, so forgive me if I seem a little out of sorts. I've just been studying so many math problems and English and reading and teacher terminology. It's been crazy, but we're looking forward to it. And it's fun going into teaching. It really is. I remember when Sarah and I first started dating, she was going through all this and she was finishing up school and she was taking her test and she signed her contract, and it was exciting. I was excited for her and I saw how excited she was. And now I get to kind of go through that, which is fun. When you lose somebody, you find ways to feel close to them, in non-traditional ways, because obviously they're not here anymore, and you carry on with your life and you grow and your life changes and you adapt to this new world that you're in and this new person you are. But these people are important to you. So you try to find ways to stay connected to them in a healthy way. And I think this has been one of those fun things where this is usually a time where I get a little sad, I get a little teary, get a little depressed because it was her birthday yesterday, which was July 8th. And those big dates are the ones that you really kind of get this inner depression. Anniversary, day of death, and birthday. Those are the three major ones where you're you think about it a little bit more. Your body sometimes feels it or stores it a little bit in places. My hip, bro, what I'm telling you, when I am not doing well, I know it because my hip is sore, and then I got to stretch the shit out, get a massage, and I see exactly what the trauma is, and it gets pushed out of me. It's crazy. Apparently there's a book that tells you everywhere you store trauma and how to release it. And I didn't believe that's the thing. I didn't believe in any of this stuff. I really didn't believe in any of this stuff until I started doing it. And then you realize oh my God, it's true. Certain memories are just repressed in your body and they get massaged out. You have, my guy is rubbing this knot out of my hip and I'm just and he's are you okay? I was just some trauma. Just the trauma llama coming through, just and he's all right, man, just stop making noise. Calm your trauma llama down, bro. But that's fucking wild, and it's true. Yoga, same thing. Yoga, you'll stretch and you'll hit certain parts of your body where you're didn't even know you're tight or sore, and then all of a sudden you stretch and you're oh my God, I forgot that terrible memory existed. You're sweating out a mat and you're just oh, trauma, get out of me. And then you feel good. But that's a few of the ways that I feel close, or I try to deal with my trauma in a healthy way. Going through this teaching program and this teaching license and getting all this does make me feel close to Sarah in a lot of great ways, because she was obviously a teacher. It was something she was very proud of. But I can almost feel her along with me, rooting me on. And I have a great support system rooting me on. And it's just, again, it's one of these things where you're like, I saw her do it. I saw the happiness that it created for her and the happiness it created for other people and the fulfillment she got from it. And it was almost like everything that happened up to this point was to get me here, to get me to being a teacher and being happy with who I am while I teach. That was a thing a lot of the times in the casino industry, even before COVID, before Sarah passed. It's like, I'm just not happy with this. Like, I'm not happy with this. It's an ugly industry. People are, they're gamblers. They're addicts. They're like, imagine like having a crack addiction and going to a place and they're like, if you do more crack, we'll give you a free room. But if you don't do crack, you don't get nothing for free. But people are going to do that crack and they're going to try to do a lot of it so they can get free stuff. It's the same thing with the casino. It's like, come gamble. If you don't gamble enough, you can't get anything for free. You got to pay for all your shit. Sorry, bro. But if you gamble a lot, we'll take care of you. And just that dynamic is like not the most rewarding dynamic. That was something I struggled with when Sarah was alive, was she had this purpose and this happiness at work. And I was trying to find that. I did comedy and I felt that, but comedy is ups and downs. It's not as financially stable, especially early on, as people like to think it is. So finding somewhere where you're dedicating a lot of your time where like you feel like there's a good purpose to it. It was something I struggled with for a while, and it took me until I really had this crazy situation at my last place, this crazy abusive situation at my last place come up, where I had to step aside and I had to reevaluate where I was going in life. Sometimes the best decisions that you make are the ones that are kind of forced upon you. The ones where your eyes just open up and you're like, holy shit, what's going on is not okay. I can't live like this anymore. I need to make a change, or I need to get out of this situation. And sometimes it's ugly, and sometimes it's abrupt and it's not how you planned, and it's stressful and you don't have a backup plan. Like when I left my last place, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. I just knew I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling while I was there anymore. Can't get into too much detail, but like the abuse that I went through was fucking crazy. And the abuse over what I went through. It's just, you don't think that people could be like this. Especially when you were surrounded by like such amazing people. Like you assume that everyone's a good person. You assume that like everyone has your best interest, and you learn that that's not always the case. But now I'm teaching and I'm getting prepared and I'm going through this practice, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Practice. It's not the same thing, but I'm practicing for my practice. Try to say that 5 times fast. I'm practicing for my practice. I can't even say it right when I'm trying to joke. I'm practicing for my praxis. I'm going to be a public speaking teacher and I can't even say practicing for my praxis. There we go. Practicing for my practice. Practice. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Apologies to all the listeners out there. You guys are like, is he having a stroke? What is Spiro doing over there? He's having a stress stroke. Help him. Help Spiro. But it's dope, man. And it's helped me kind of focus my attention and have something to be excited over, especially during like a little, like I said, tougher time. It was Sarah's birthday yesterday, and if you guys don't know, the term is heavenly birthday, which heavenly birthday sounds like a weird strip club or spa, like a dirty spa. It's like, ooh, happy heavenly birthday. You want something that's going to be divine, that you feel through the sensations all throughout your body. Come to heavenly birthday. I think there was a strip club, I think, in Chicago named Heavenly Body, where it's like, come see all the women that are gorgeous in Chicago. It's like Heavenly Body. That could be the new thing for Heavenly Birthday. There's no Heavenly Birthday cards, by the way. You notice, like, all you have to do is like post on social media, Happy Heavenly Birthday, and people are like, she's not going to get this. How are you going to get her? How is she going to get this message? She's dead. She's not checking her Facebook. She's dead. She's not checking her Facebook, bro. Like, what do you... Can you mail somebody? Happy Heavenly Birthday? What do you do? Like, she was cremated, so do I burn the card after I write it? I write Happy Heavenly Birthday, get her a nice little card, you know, maybe like a fart joke, a poop joke, something on it. And then I'll burn it and throw it in the ash, be like, Happy Heavenly Birthday, here's your birthday card. And then I just dump the ashes of the birthday card I burnt. Sorry if the handwriting is illegible. They're ashes. I don't know if you can read ashes, but I assume you can. Starts off with ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Happy birthday, eat your pizza's crust. But it's an interesting celebration, and I think I don't see it often enough. You know, it's sometimes these posts and sometimes posting these things can be sad and can be upsetting, and some people will look at it and be like, ugh, like, I don't know. But it really does help your soul. It helps you feel like these people aren't lost forever, that they're just gone for a moment in time. You know, posting something saying Happy Heavenly Birthday with a fun picture and memory and saying how much you miss that person. It's like this nice release where you're like, yeah, like, especially now, like I said, when I feel like I'm in a better spot overall and I'm going into this new world, this new career, you think about all the hardship that you've endured and all the pain and all the problems and all the missteps and all the people that you dealt with and all these terrible things. And then like at a birthday like this, you're just like, oh my God, like you've been here. You've gotten me through all of this. Like you're watching over me. Like everything happens for a reason. Like you're putting people in my life that need to be put in my life. And it's this kind of big, like cathartic release where you're like, you accept that they're gone, but you appreciate everything that still flows from them. If that makes sense, you know, like you might not see it. It's like the wind. You might not see it, but it blows you from time to time. In a non-dirty way, you perverts, get out of here. But I recommend it. If somebody you know has passed and they have a birthday, they do have a birthday because if they passed, they had to have been born. So they would have had a birthday. Celebrate it. And you don't have to do anything wacky. All you could do is just post a picture and be like, yo, I miss you. Happy Heavenly Birthday. Like, wish you were here partying with me. Or you can go to like a restaurant they enjoyed. Or you can watch a movie that they enjoyed. Like, that's the one thing that I didn't realize I needed as well, because my dad, it's not my dad's Heavenly Birthday, but my dad, every Sunday, we used to love to watch like a movie. And I don't think if you're normal, this is the thing. If you're a millennial, you and Gen X get along pretty well, and boomers get along pretty well over one thing, and that's Sunday movies. Watching a good old Sunday movie. You know what I mean? And everyone knows, when you say Sunday movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a movie where you're like, it's like 3 hours, 2.5 hours. It's usually on TV somewhere on like AMC, TNT. You know, it's like maybe it's like a historical piece, or it's got Dennis Quaid in it. I feel like Dennis Quaid's whole career is based off of being on a Sunday movie. You see a preview, you're like, oh, that movie looks good, but it's Friday. Let's watch that Sunday. That seems like a rainy Sunday movie. Right? What other rainy Sunday movies are there? Everyone knows there's a Sunday movie. Anything with Dennis Quaid, obviously. You always have like some weird comedies like 21 Jump Street. Wedding Crashers. Ooh, Wedding Crashers. I remember seeing that in theater. Now it's a Sunday movie. What other Sunday movies are there? List them out. Name them. Joe Dirt, that's a good Sunday movie. Okay, like Goodfellas, great Sunday movie. Casino, any Scorsese film, great Sunday movie. It's long, you can press pause, go pee, get some snacks, order a pizza, barbecue with some friends, watch it. My Cousin Vinny, oh my God, Sunday movie. You love me a good Sunday movie. What's another good Sunday movie? Anything that's like a shoot 'em up war film, like maybe Fast and the Furious, good Sunday movie. Saving Private Ryan, Sunday movie. Exorcist, can't watch that on Sunday. That's the Lord's Day. That's like a Thursday movie. That way you could pray the rest of the weekend. But I realize that because he's gone, I still have these missings for them. So watching a movie on Sunday is like a way to like honor and enjoy them without it being weird, you know? I talked the last podcast, like bringing urns places. I can't bring urns places. People freak out over that. Haven't done it, but I can imagine if I saw someone bring their urn somewhere, it would freak me the fuck out. But doing simple things, like saying happy heavenly birthday, or watching a Sunday movie, or going to a restaurant they enjoyed, or just talking about them, it really helps move you forward and puts you in such a good place in life. And I'm not in the best place in life, but boy, have things turned around over the last year. I was in such a down place about a year ago because of everything I went through. And now this year, it's like the first time in almost a decade where I see a clear future. I see a clear path, and there's excitement towards it. And I'm building a life that I've always wanted, and it's awesome to see. And especially going through all the hardships I went through, like, oh, I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just big buff, emotional warrior. Forgive me for the terrible accents, but you know. Again, guys, I love all of you. This has been a pretty quick episode of the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. I just wanted to get out there, give you guys a little bit of what I've been going through this week, you know, and I've been studying. So again, I'm a little chaotic. If you guys have taken the praxis, if I have any teachers out there that have taken the praxis and have any advice for me, drop them in the comments, drop it in my DMs, because I'm a little nervous, but I got this. I'm going to eat a good breakfast, get some sleep, and study hard. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for supporting the show, supporting my live shows. Jokes and Fire will also be the last Wednesday of this month. I believe it is the 30th of July, so come out and check that out. But for the next week or so, I won't have many shows just as I get all this praxis stuff in order. But I'll be ripping and ready right when that's done. So again, thank you so much for supporting the show. I've been Spiro with the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.